Alright, good morning everyone. Today we've got a 50k moderate, I think it is. Feel quite well rested. On the cold side actually, this wind. Hopefully I'll be warm enough. I do have a light wind jacket with me, but I'm sure once I get going I'm going to warm up. So yeah, not long to go now. This is my last sort of proper training ride. Can't believe the time's gone so quickly. It's Sunday today, and then I've just got next week where I've only got 2 easy 15Ks, just to keep the legs moving, and then there's going to be event day next week. So yeah, just 50k to go today. Got a route which is a sort of mash-up of routes that I've done before, but essentially today we're going to be following Cycle Route 21, National Cycle Route 21, which starts in Greenwich and then makes its way south and eventually joins, I think it's Route 20 or something, and then that goes down to Brighton. So some of this is going to be familiar, some not. I read up some of the notes on Route 21, and it does indeed say that many parts of Route 21 are not suitable for road bikes. So, I mean, that kind of explains it, and it matches up with my experience, which is that, yeah, much of it is not suitable for road bikes. Luckily I've got this all-road bike, which actually seems spot on for that kind of terrain. I mean, it's not, you know, full-on mountain bike terrain. It's just, you know, just a bit more than your average road bike can cope with. Probably any sort of hybrid or something will probably be fine on it too. So anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing today. It's cool, but it's dry and sunny, so lots to be grateful for. Again, this GoPro is not going to last the whole ride. I'm still trying to think of a good strategy to get it to last longer, so we'll see how it goes. But anyway, enough talking, and let's get on with the cycling. I'll catch up with you in a bit. So I must admit, I'm feeling an awful lot more confident now with these multi-release cleats. Just to know that, you know, in case I forget I'm clipped in, or I have that sort of moment of panic where I feel like I can't get my foot out, I can. And that makes all the difference in the world. So at the moment, I'm saying those are the best things that I bought so far. Apart from the shoes, I guess, themselves, without which I wouldn't have used them, but no, they're fantastic. I'm so happy with them. The other thing I've decided, and I was wondering before whether or not to change my tyres. I've got some slightly narrower, more road focused tyres I could use, but you know, given that these have been perfect so far, I've been able to do the distances on these, comfortable on these. I don't really want to make any last minute changes to the bike setup. I'd rather leave things as they are and you know, go with what I know, and they'll be alright. I mean, really, geez, it's not a race. If it was, I'd be doing an awful lot more to be able to go faster, but it's not. I'm just doing the distance, and honestly, I think, you know, tyres, it's not going to make that much difference. So I'm taking it quite easy as usual. This strategy seems to work quite well, where I just go out at a very moderate pace, and then once I get halfway I can kind of reassess how I'm doing and how I did on the outward leg, and then decide how hard to go on the way home. It seems like the sensible way to do it, rather than deplete all my reserves on the way out and end up stranded somewhere. What I have noticed though is that it seems to take my body a little while to sort of move from the sort of sedentary kind of mode to a more athletic mode, shall we say. It takes a little while for my body to actually make that change, and before it does, I really feel really tired. Funny, I feel really tired, and my body's just telling me stop, slow down, can't do it. And then after a while it just sort of kicks into this other mode, and I guess my heart gets working better, and maybe my lungs are working better, maybe I'm able to absorb more oxygen. I'm not sure what it is, but whatever it is that changes, and I seem to be able to do it after that. So I'm guessing that, the fitter I get, the more used to this I get, the shorter that transition period will be, and certainly even if it's not shorter, I'll just be more familiar with it and more able to remember that, in the first sort of 20 minutes also, don't listen. If your body's saying I'm tired, don't listen to it, it's just lazy. So I think I'm doing reasonably well in terms of figuring out a fueling strategy for the day. So as you know, I've got these homemade energy bars, which have been fantastic and very tasty. Actually, it's been a bit of a struggle to try not to eat them all before the day, because they're so nice, but I've got some of those. I've got some energy gels as well, some of the SIS, what do we call them? Isotonic, that's it, energy gels, which apparently on non-isotonic gels you need to take them with water or with liquid, but with these ones you don't. But I mean, I'm drinking plenty anyway, so I've got those, and I've got my water bottles, 2 710ml water bottles, which I'm putting these sort of rehydration tablets into. SIS ones again have different flavours. I found I really like the cola flavour, so I'm going to be using those on the day as a treat. And yeah, I just found that having at least sort of one thing an hour works quite well in terms of eating, so at least an energy bar an hour, and then if I've got a particularly hard section coming up, steep hills, something like that, or I'm just really flagging, then an energy gel seems to work quite well, and within about 10 minutes that seems to kick in. I haven't had any problems with stomach cramps or anything like that with these energy gels, so I'm going to stick with them because I know they work. In terms of drinking, I know I should be aiming for about a bottle an hour. I've really found these rehydration tablets work quite well. Haven't really been getting headaches or any other symptoms with them, so I'm going to stick with them for the moment. So yeah, I think on the day, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll take, I don't know, 3 or 4 energy bars, probably about the same number of gels maybe. I'll take my 2 water bottles and plan to refill them probably once each along the route, and I'll probably take a few spare rehydration tablets to drop into the refilled water bottles as well. At the moment the forecast for the day is about 21 degrees, partly cloudy, which sounds perfect. Couldn't really ask for more because the days leading up to that is pouring with rain, so that wouldn't be too good. So it's looking ideal at the moment. Let's hope it stays that way, and yeah, I'll catch up with you in a bit. So I never really do any kind of warm-ups for these rides, so I guess I kind of build the warm-up into the beginning of my ride by going really slowly, but it seems okay so far. I suppose if you were doing a race where you had to go full on right from the beginning, you definitely want to warm up a bit first, but for these kind of things it seems alright. Oh, I'm going to go through the park today. Of course I am. Awesome. When I first came to this park I didn't really like it very much. I thought it was quite disappointing. I called something a country park, and it sounds quite grand, but this is not grand. But if it was named instead gravel biking circuit or something, I think I'd be very happy with it. Okay, can finally do that turn. Mastered it at last. Right, yeah, some good gravel riding here. This whole ride is National Cycle Route 21, and sure enough, this is National Cycle Route 21, and I can see why they say it's not suitable for road bikes. I mean, this section is definitely one of the tamer sections, but if I was coming down here with 23mm tyres at 120 psi, I'd be bounced all over the place and or have constant punctures, and it'd be a miserable experience. But with these 38s at 40 psi and a suspension stem and a partridge in a pear tree, it's all good. Starting to feel a bit tight now. I think this is probably the sort of transition section from, you know, feeling lazy, don't want to do it mode to I'll go on then if I have to. I'm going to start processing carbs and oxygen more efficiently mode. I'm so used to going this way. I forgot that's not the way I'm going. I'm actually going over the tram tracks. Says I should dismount anyway, so look both ways. Alright, any trams? No. Okay, so this bit's new. I haven't been on this section yet, but this is National Cycle Route 21. It's actually a bit harder than it needs to be in terms of planning a ride on the cycle routes. I mean, commute's quite good at planning, you know, putting you on a cycle route when it can, but it's not obvious when you're doing the planning where the cycle routes are. On the desktop version of Komoot, there is an option to change the map type, and one of the map types, not the default Komoot one, but one of the other ones, is something called Open Cycle Map, and that shows you the cycle routes. Yeah, I'm starting to see the merits of urban cycling actually. There's a lot of variation, whilst the stop-start can be a bit sort of jarring if you're really trying to cover distance quickly, and if you're not in so much of a hurry, it keeps it pretty interesting. It's just mile after mile of hedgerow, beautiful as it might be. It's a bit samey. So as this is my last big ride, I'm really going to take it easy and be really careful. The last thing I want to do is have an accident or sustain some kind of injury for the ride. So I'm even going to obey these lights here.
I've never seen anyone so road sign conscious.
Yeah, I know. I may be overdoing it a bit, but
I suppose you can work it into a break, sort of catch your breath maybe.
Kind of, yeah. It's probably more laziness than obedience. Remember when I said the thing about not suitable for road bikes? Well, this is what I mean. This kind of forest path, forest trail now. I'm really lucky that it's dry today, because if I was doing this in the wet, it'd be miserable. I mean, apart from just getting wet, this would just be a mud bath. And I think my bike wouldn't cope that well. Technically this bike has a maximum of 38mm tyres, but sorry, 35, but I put 38s on it because I could see they'd fit, but what I didn't really factor in is mud clearance. Sure, you can jam on bigger tyres, but if you're going to go for any kind of mud, you need some clearance, otherwise it's just going to get clogged up. And I haven't really accounted for that, and that's fine if I'm not going through any mud, which I'll certainly do my best to avoid. Alright, got a bit of a climb here, so I'm going to get to the top of this, out of the woods, and then stop and have a drink. Oh gosh, yeah, I know where I am now. This is steep. This is the hill. This is the brutal hill that finished me off last time. And yeah, got up to over 60 down here. I'm going to take it easy. It's a little bumpy. Oh yeah. Oh, so easy to pull on the speed here. Remember, I don't have the braking power of a car. Alright, so that's the hill. So I need to look out for on the way back. the one that I need to make sure that I'm fueled for and ready for, in terms of saving my legs, saving my energy. I was lucky. No, I'm not going to go this way. I don't fancy being stung by stinging nettles or even going through muddy puddles. I'm not Peppa Pig. I'm going to go on the road today. I'm a bit of a fair weather off-roader. I'm a bit of a fair weather on-roader. Just a bit of a fair weather person, I'm afraid. Yeah, this is National Cycle Route 21. This is quite astonishing. Oh, nettles. Oh, now I'm standing in all the mud. Oh my word, this is just not good, not good. Okay, has anyone actually ridden through here? Come on. If you're going to create a national cycle route, it needs to actually be cyclable. I might have made that word up, but that's not the point, is that? That section was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Come on, if you're going to have a national cycle network, you need to actually be able to cycle on it. My tyres are going to be slippery, so I need to be careful here. Can't be too far. I've done 22k and it's a 25k route, so these brakes don't seem very even. Power down. Seemed like a good place to
take the next right.
Next right. I wouldn't be surprised if it was there, but it's a bit chilly now. Where's the next right? Over there. Nothing would surprise me now.
Now turn right onto Highfield.
The next right just turned straight into the sea. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, yeah, this is 5 miles an hour. Not really going to be doing anything more than that here. This is just a mud fest. Steep descent. Take extreme care. Oh, well, this is a walker. This is definitely a walker on the way up. Why am I going down here? This is National Cycle Route 21. You can hear me above my squealing brakes. And horseman, you are. Oh my word! This is dreadful. Simply dreadful. Ugh. This should be the expert level ride. This where I do have to get off my bike in some sections. Guys, you can't call this a cycle route. You simply cannot. This is not okay. This is not okay. I know that there's a warning. I know it says some places are not suitable for road bikes, but none of this is suitable for almost any kind of bike. This is maybe suitable for horses, and that's it. Oh, being attacked on all sides. I'm genuinely thinking about giving up on this this ride. It's not especially hard. Oh, my bar tape's coming off there. Oh my word. I am going to send some of this to Sustrans or whoever, because they need to know that this is not a cycle route, guys. This is just simply not a cycle route. Yeah, you're still with me. I've got to come back this way. I mean, it's an adventure, and I'm certainly now glad of my choice of shoes, but it's not a cycle route. This is maybe good for if I was doing the London to Brighton off-road. I'm not in the right gear at all. Come on, gears. And I can't find the flat side of the pedal. You'll have to just completely lost my ability to ride a bike. I mean, this is pretty marginal, but that section back there, just no. I'm going to get on Twitter to let them know. I'll test these tyres in some mud. So far, light mud, no problem. I'm going to need a bigger arse saver though. My back's probably covered in mud. I'm glad I didn't swap my tyres out for this ride. So, oh gosh, oh, this is really muddy. Well, we cope alright with short sections of mud. I consider this to be an extreme tyre test, then it's a bit more palatable. I'm going to find a different way home from here. I'm not going to go through this section. It's preposterous. It's absolutely ridiculous. No more of that, please. That was just too much. Some nice, wide, gentle woodland sections are fine. That's not fine. And that's silly.
Take the next left.
Through there, are you saying we're left at the next junction? Yeah.
Now turn
Nothing would
left onto
surprise
single
me.
track.
More single track. Oh, don't get me wrong, I like a bit of single track, but that was a bit too single and a bit too tracky for me. So I don't know how long the GoPro is going to last, but I'm going to tell Commute to take me back a different route, because this is a bit too ridiculous.
Turn left.
But certainly this was interesting and amusing for you guys, so you've probably seen the most interesting part of the route. Most likely the road home is going to be road, hopefully, and nothing quite so
This way 250 meters.
interesting. So it's been raining quite heavily the last couple of days, so these shaded spots here are still quite damp and muddy. We're almost there. We'll come out onto a paved road soon, so I'm going to stop there and have something to eat, have something to drink, see if I can shake a bit of mud off my bike, and then I'm going to plot a more sensible route home, because this is anything but sensible. Well, wow, what can you say about this ride? I don't really know where to start. It was challenging, it was interesting, it was an adventure, and it was everything but boring. But I tell you what, it wasn't a national cycle route. Sorry to whinge on about this, but guys, you may have many good cycle routes, and you may put a disclaimer saying some parts are not suitable for road bikes, but you know, this just wasn't good enough, to be honest. I like a bit of off-road stuff, I like a bit of single track, but this was way too much. But anyway, enough of the whinging. I have emailed Sustrans, they haven't got back to me at all, so I have no idea what's going on with that. But I made it through the ride, 50k. I plotted a route home that was entirely road-based, which got me home much faster, but was considerably less interesting. So I'll put some stats up on the screen. You can see what the ride was like. This was the last big ride before the London to Brighton, so I felt pleased that I'd achieved that, and I was feeling good and positive. So thanks a lot for coming today, and I'll be back soon. Bye.